Hello, everybody. Welcome. Those are psych investigator. Everybody. Welcome. Rose is psychic investigator. I'm actually recording from the backyard. It's about 6:45. It's not too dark, but soon enough we're gonna get bats because they come out at night to get the fruit and mosquitoes. So far so good. But I thought I'd take advantage of my parents not being home. So I can recording now. All right. Okay. So let's get started. So the protection, I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle, I step into it. I step into it, I feel protected, I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and all the good, and so it is. So this video is going to be about the fates of the two women in the Venezuela situation, the VP Rodriguez and Machado, the lady who got the Peace Prize and the one who was praising Trump a lot. Okay? All right, so let's get started. So I had done the introduction about this topic on yesterday's video, so I'm just going to show you this part, and then we'll get right to the questions. And so, so this is interesting. It's also interesting because the woman now, yesterday's video, I did cards, and I have to say I did the cards not having too much information, right? Just looking at the situation overall. And there was this woman who was taking power, and there were deals. The cards suggested a lot of deals also. So this woman is the VP, and apparently she was in Russia while this thing was happening. Like, what? Why? It's almost as if like there was an arrangement for her to be there, and then she came back to Venezuela, and she's the one taking power, not the right wing woman that I guess won the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize. Remember? So that's very interesting, right? It's very unusual because usually the U.S. will take this happen. I mean, in Latin America in the 60s and 70s, the U.S. would help take down the left-wing governments and put a right-wing puppet. But this is the opposite, right? He's actually keeping the vice president in power, which is a very unusual, right? So, and the fact that she was in Iraq before this, or as this was happening, it's almost like, what are the odds, right? So I'm going to look into that. I'm also going to look into the comments that Trump said about, I may make a different video, okay? Because I like to keep the videos sort of tight, subject by subject. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the cards here. We have in the first row, we have the 4 of wands. I'm sorry, the 4 of swords. And that's the card of somebody resting quietly inside a church. It's usually a card related to meditation or resting, being at peace. But when you think about a church, it's a place of shelter, a place where you're safe. So I think in this context, it means that she's safely sheltered somewhere. And then the next card is the opposite of it in some way. It's something public recognition, public event. Then after that, you have the judgment. The judgment is about the moment of reckoning. Okay, so that's the first row. On the second row, we have the house, Lenormand. Then we have number 20, which is garden. Garden is similar to the card that's above it, 6 of wands. It's about a public gathering. It's usually a place where groups gather. It also could mean society. Okay. Next to it, we have the owl, or in different decks, it's called the birds. So it's chatter, people talking, whispers, gossip. And so it means basically the White House talks about something publicly. And I think in a way this could be their white version of the White House, but I'm just, reading the cards. They are literally, which is how I do it. Then below they have the Diebstahl card, theft, right? This is the third row. And then kurze Krankheit, short illness. And then the last card on that row is the good outcome in your love life, or it's a card of a deal. What's interesting is that the second card, where a person is resting in bed, is also somewhat connected to the first card, which is somebody resting, right? But in terms of the context that we have talked about, and I've looked into this yesterday, right? And oh my god, the bats are already started. Oh my god, sorry, starting to come. Must be fun. Like they don't come to me, but I get a little scared. A little scared. They're fine. They're sweet. Bats are not bad, but you imagine? Okay, I don't. I'm gonna. I just thought maybe no, they're not gonna come into my mouth. Uh, so anyway, going back here to the topic at hand. Back to the lecture at hand. All right. So let's talk about the other card here of the resting, the person in bed. Now, there's the connotation of this, right, which is sex related, and we know that there's sex situations with trash, right, and he's trying to distract from it. Then again, there's the last card is a deal. Okay, there's a deal of some sort. So that is some sort of a shady, restful thing that was agreed upon, right? So okay, so this is it. Now the last on the very last row, and it might be hard to see it. I apologize because the angle, right? It's another house upside down. Now something related to, I think that could be their house because you hear the dogs barking in the neighborhood. It's an interesting experiment. It is. So anyway, so the real sounds of Rio. So then we have the waiting card upright. Somebody's waiting. So she's in this house. I think it could be their house, their presidency place, whatever that is, waiting for something to happen. Now there's a letter, some sort of a shady announce, like a message. Okay, so to me, it feels like this. She's not at that point when the thing happened. I don't think she was in a rush. The cards don't suggest that, but you'll see that on the next thing. I think it's possible that she went there. Okay, so it looks like she was aware this was going to happen. She was told to stay quiet in a place where she could be safe, and she was alerted beforehand. And I think I wouldn't say the word. I wouldn't use the word protected, but there is something to that effect. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next. Did she travel to Russia? Was it true that she went to Russia? What's the story about her being in Russia? So on the first row, we have okay, we have the Six of Swords upright, which means somebody moving on to smoother waters. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune upside down, and we have the Tower upside down. Now, that card of the Six of Swords, it could suggest travel, yes. And that she's traveling to escape or to not exactly escape, but to a better situation. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune upside down. Things changed, right? A big change that may not be positive. And the Tower upside down, it's that dealing with the massive tower like event, right? External event that she may not well that she had no control over. Obviously, we know that, right? I mean, she wasn't obviously directing it, so that's consistent. Now, okay, so let's just go to the next row. Hi guys, so I ended up just leaving the backyard because it was dark and I was freaked out by the bats. So I'm back. Anyway, so the second row is the writer, which is news of something, the tree, organization. It could even be resources, and the mountain. The mountain means something blocked, delayed. So um, it could also suggest that the tree is something like long-standing, like she was blocked. News about her path, like her path being blocked, or her piece of land being blocked. There's a blockage on the path, basically. Okay, so for the third row, we have the young girl card, then the prison card, and then the card of change. I'm sorry, the new beginning with a child. So again, this issue with the ESP files appear to be somehow connected to this as well. Okay. Then below we have the money card. Then we have, 1 second. I don't think I can quite see it. Okay, here we have, oh, that's right. Theft. So next to money, there's theft, and then there's upside down surprise, so negative surprise, right? So overall, if we read the column, we have moving on because of the news related to the inexperienced younger girls, and finances related to that. The center is the Wheel of Fortune upside down, a big change. Then change to the organization, and then there's the group of people, prison, because of theft or some sort of criminal activity. Then we have the Tower upside down, a big change, blockages, because negative surprises about children. Like, how is that? Like, how weird, right? Not good at all. So let's go back. Did she betray Maduro or not? Or did they know together? Okay, so on the first row we have the 10 of Cups upright, then the Chariot upside down, then the 10 of Wands. It's interesting, the 10 of Cups, the family, a group of people happy together. Now the Chariot means too much control or the wrong, like abuse of power, okay? Then the 10 of Wands means a lot of stress. She was very stressed out, but there was a sense of belonging, like she was happy, I guess, right? Although there was some abuse of power. Then we have on the second row, we have the whip, which is 11, means aggression, fighting. The next card next to it, we have the pathway, crossroads, which means making a decision, or it sometimes means elections. Okay. So fighting, disagreeing on which direction to take. The card of the luck, the clover card, it's interesting. It's like a small opportunity. So maybe she thought that this was a way out, right? That they were disagreeing on certain things. Then the third row we have prison upside down, which is a literal prison you can get out of. For the Gran Señor, like it's the big lord. So it may actually represent Maduro here. And then now the card of the peacock upside down, to me, it really ends up being about propaganda. So it's like he's being placed in a prison for propaganda purposes, something like that. And then there's at the bottom a person really worried. The next card is recognition of something, and then a letter. So she was really worried about all of this. She seems to have known that was going to happen. But that was a sort of a predicament or situation that she was in. So I don't know that it's necessarily that she was betraying him, but it's like those are cards. Literally, those were the cards she was dealt, right? So does it make sense? It was like, I don't think that she had a say really in her fate. I mean, in a way, she's lucky that she's not in prison. But, okay? But this is it. What will happen to her next? She came out and said that she's in charge. What's going on? What's going to happen to her next? Is she going to be removed as well? What's going to happen? So on the first row, you have Page of Swords upside down, which could mean like a troll or aggression. Then you have Queen of Pentacles upside down, some issue with money, and then asserting herself, being assertive. Okay, and then below would have widower. So a man, it could mean a man or it could mean big losses. And then the sickness upside down, right? Meaning, like I said the other day, something related to it could be sick as in physically sick or actual sex related sickness, right? Then we have again the young girl card upside down, meaning there's honestly it refers back to the whole EPS file situation. Okay, and it's this. I thought this was quite interesting because I'm gonna just read row by row, then I'll tell you the big picture. Then we have the dog friendly, and then friend fox's treachery, and then the child card again. So the friends that have done treachery to the children, and then the very bottom is law. It's the courts, woman in the courts, and the judge making a decision. So to me, honestly, it's really interesting because it suggests that something related to the UPS files will kind of undo any attempt to remove this woman. Honestly, it looks to me as if it's somewhat likely that she'll actually stay in power because it suggests that the court issue that Trump is dealing with may end up affecting the whole Venezuela thing. Okay, so that's really interesting. Now, going here in the first column, Page of Swords upside down, then the losses related to these things and the friends, the group of men, right? And their legal problems. Then we have money related to the SEX stuff and the treachery done to women. Okay. And then, but the woman up at the below could be her. So it could also mean that the courts intervene in the Venezuela situation to like prevent her from, like, prevent this invasion. There's just something, honestly, not prevent invasion. It can't be prevented. Oh my God, look at the mess. But it's like, it's really, like very, very interesting. I think something about related to the EPS thing could stop further escalation of the Venezuela thing. Okay? All right.